Happy Wednesday, August 23rd, 2023. Wake up to Makeup Wednesday. So on Wednesdays over here at the London Nicole Network, or in our glamorous world we call glamorous, we talk about really staying motivated on Wednesdays, taking that time to kind of have also a little mental break, as well as getting ready for the rest of the week. If you are in e-commerce, right, and even if you're a coach or a consultant, a lot of times we are either selling our own digital products, or we may have a store or a business or something along that line. So you're getting ready for the weekend coming up. Listen, like I said, it's all about staying motivated. Listen, thank you so much for joining in and listening in. You are listening to Make Your Beauty Mark podcast, where being in charge of your brand has never looked so good. You are listening to it with me, London Nicole. I was about to say London Nicole Network. Can I just be honest? If you can't hear it in my tone, I'm kind of nervous, kind of shaking off the jitters. Here's the thing. I was putting Ariel to sleep, whether I call her Picasso or Blue Ivy in training, whatever it is, right? Thundercat. She's normally pretty hype. I feel like it's no other word to say hype besides hype. And normally I am always like overly prepared because I have her and she's like tearing down papers, doing this, doing this, doing that. And so now I'm like, okay, you're down for your nap. I'm about to go podcast. And guess what? I have no notes, nothing in front of me. But if you are a mom, I feel like you're going to relate to what I'm saying. When you can get it done, you get it done. Because you know as much as I know, especially little kids, that too, I want to say to like 4 or 5, it is like pure mania with them. They have so much energy, usually wake up hype. And like I said, you have to kind of like squeeze in your time, whether it's to take a shower, whether it's to brush your teeth by yourself, to be by yourself, to do anything by yourself, because they definitely are like the little CEOs in the making and doing it. So look, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. I'm streaming it a couple different ways this time, whether you're listening to me video. I'm about to say via video on London Nicole, which is like my YouTube page, or if you're on Facebook and you are checking out the network and you're listening to it that way. Like I said, I just wanted to do something different, stream a little different, and see how that goes. And like I said, to do something just a little different that I probably necessarily wouldn't do in a lot of my, I want to say, podcasts and stuff I did before. And I took the moment to breathe and pause because I feel like anybody who's podcasting, YouTube, or streaming, girl, you know when it's like your first time trying to do it and like really getting, well, let me back up. Even if it's not your first time and you've been doing it for a while, right? Where you've been streaming online, you've posted a YouTube video or anything along that time. Once you get into sharing it, like when you're sharing it to your Facebook page, now you can share it to TikTok, Twitch, and the whole nine. You go back and for whatever reason, you're trying to also navigate and like watch yourself kind of in real time, or you're trying to make sure it sounds great. Because listen, as much as a visual branding person I am, it's nothing horrible. It's nothing worse than having great visuals. Come on, it's like seeing a really, really good looking guy and then he talks and you're like, bruh, you just killed, like you just you just lost it for me. I kind of feel the same way. I feel like everything is going super great or can be super great until you go back and you listen to that audio. So you're trying to check the audio live while you're trying to navigate live. It's just so much stuff happening, right? So like I said, I was going back to kind of check it out, and I didn't put a title or anything on this because I was just trying to check it out and see how it was going to work live, if it was going to navigate well, and the whole nine. So a lot of this is just really me testing. It's me testing it out. So if you are listening, or if you're just coming in to kind of see what happens, that's what it is. And I didn't even put a title up. And I didn't put the title up, like I said, because I was trying to rush in from dealing with Ariel. I was really trying to think. I was like maneuvering my toddler. I thought I was like, being super sophisticated, only to find out I play myself. I definitely play myself by not being prepared for this. But here's the thing. And since I'm here in this Call Make Your Beauty Mark podcast, well, even though I say never being in charge, well, I'll use the tagline, being in charge of your brand has never looked so good. Because a lot of times, I don't know if your mama told you this, your grandma told you this, or you've heard the saying before, that a lot of times we're overthinking in our head how we're being perceived or how somebody else is taking us. This is one of those moments I feel that way. I feel like I'm in a room and I just have like maybe like my granny, probably like my granny nightie on. Because I won't say bra and underwear because I'll just like run out. Like I'll be shutting this down if I felt that way. I feel more like I'm in my bonnet with house slippers on. Now, granted, am I in my office with house slippers on talking to you? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But I feel bonnet, house slippers. You get what I'm saying? And the gown. So bonnet, gown, house slippers. If you are creating a visual picture, that's kind of what I'm feeling right now. Just standing out in the middle of the yard, the grocery store, in the middle of Target. That's how exposed I feel right now. While you may be listening to this and like, hey, London, I don't get that at all. But when you are trying something new and you're trying something different, and especially as a creator, right? Remember, as a creative, a lot of our dreams, our purposes really boils down to innovation, doing something different, being the first on the scene. We like to create. Like I feel like that's really what it is. You see something that needs to be fixed, or you want to make it better, or something that doesn't exist. And when you're a creator and you're in that place, it is always nerve wracking. And I don't know why. Why am I sitting here like, oh my God, why do you feel so nervous now? Because as a creator, I feel like you live in this place of uncomfortability. And I don't know if you're on TikTok as much as I'm on TikTok, but I was watching this video with Will I Am, and it was super, super dope. And basically, he was talking about as a creator, he had to live in an imaginary world because his life was so bad. Poverty was so bad. Even one of the guys on the Black Eyed Peas with him, he was like, hey, his life consisted of when the village wanted water, they went to the village and put a bucket on. Like a string and lowered it down, cranked it down, and that's how the town got water. And he was like, hey, when you come from that level of poverty, that level of struggling, to be in your imagination is no other place to be. And that's really giving you the competitive edge to really boost yourself up and to get yourself out of the situation and do the things that you really, really want to do. And again, guys, I had this whole spiel ready today for this podcast. I was so excited. And in this whole podcast today, what we were supposed to be talking about, which I think we're going to do it tomorrow, was really showing up, and showing up from a place of media, communications, and marketing. Here's why I'm saying that. I feel like every business person, when you were in the middle of the pandemic, either your business went really well, you probably just sustained, or you were you were like a lot of other creators where your business either took off because everybody had their PPP money. You was always making money. You felt pretty good. But let's be honest, the market was good for the past 2 years. If you were a business owner, people were buying logos, graphics, coaching, products. They were at home. People were more online than ever before. And now we're back outside. Beyonce's told us we're back outside. Um, and now we're out of quarantine. Those things have happened. And I think a lot of business people aren't really sure what to do. And now when you have platforms like TikTok where everybody's dancing, you feel like, as a business person, you have to dance to, you have to perform, you have to do quote unquote all of the things to be seen. And don't get me wrong, every part of business has its entertainment pieces to it. But as a CEO, me and my friends, like I said, we're in this whole conversation. I think a lot of times we completely lose sight of client retention, like holding on to the clients you have, holding on to the people you have, or you don't acquire new clients. You don't know how to go out and market yourself, market your business. You don't know how to talk about the business. You just want to do the job. And so that switch, that's really a mindset switch, to be honest, to go from, hey, I have to go out and I have to talk about the business. I have to sell the business. I have to come up with the projections, what we're going to pitch, the fundraisers, right? On top of that, I still have to do the job. I still have to do the job. And for a lot of us who are entrepreneurs, that we wear all the hats where you have to do your marketing, your branding, all of these things, and keep your clients and push your clients out. I think sometimes we get lost in when we see other people successful versus our own success. And I think a lot of times you're not quite sure if you're communicating right or if people know what you're doing, or saying or selling. And for a lot of people who are not there, because I talk to tons of business owners and they're like, nope, everybody knows what I do. Everybody knows what I sell. Everybody knows what it is. I'm like, okay, if you say so, but do they really? And so saying all of that, giving you the whole story, just really made me come up today with like this whole little quiz that I wanted to do, and this whole little social experiment. I'll say that as a future social scientist. Um, so remember back in the day, if you've ever heard it or you've probably seen people do it, there was a lot of life coaches and marketers at the time, and they were like, hey, you want to know what people think about you, which is a kind of PR type of, right, a game too, I would say. So you would, the whole premise of it is you would either ask on social media, you would post online, you would ask your family or your friends, like, hey, what do you think I do? Or what do you think I'll be good at? And you'll start to get the feedback to kind of figure out if you're doing the thing right, right? Or if people on your timeline know what you're doing. So I wanted to take that same concept, and what I decided to do was started to add like money into it. Here's why. We live in a very capitalistic society where as much as people say they're your family or your friends, if you call them, they might give you advice, of course, if you ask them money or whatever that, whatever it is. But when it comes to your business, I think a lot of entrepreneurs, we hit the role where you want people to care as much, to care about your business and your brand as much as you do. Listen, it's totally, it to me, it makes sense. But the reality of it is everybody isn't that way. So I decided to say, well, what about if we take that same question and now we add a value to it, a monetary value to it. This is what I mean. So I changed the question to saying, hey, matter of fact, before I even get into the question, let's give you still a little bit more backstory so you can still do the experiment yourself. And like I said, I wanted to have this way more laid out and way more organized. But again, because the little person is sleeping, we got to get it in. It's like a midday quickie. We're going to get it in real quick. I feel like I don't know what else to say. So here's the premise of what I was getting to the quiz of. Talking to these business owners, talking to spiritual people, talking to people who have clothing lines, just all type of businesses, right? And when I talked to a lot of these people, and knowing my job is in image and PR and the whole nine, did I not speak her up? Because don't you hear her? Yeah, I did. Yo, because this mic picks up everything. And I'm like, she's like two or three rooms over. And I'm like, I think that's her. So here's the whole premise of where the question came from. Like I said, all of these people were saying the family, the money, do people know what I do? Marketing myself. We were getting into all of this. And when you start to look at big brands like Barbie, and I know people are going to be like, London, but Barbie has millions of dollars. Yes, they do. But follow with me, just stay with me. With Barbie, the brand Barbie, when you think about the word, what's the first word that comes to, like, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Me past the doll, past the logo is the color pink. And when you think about Barbie, I immediately think about this world with Barbie, Ken, the logo, the pool. Again, I was a Barbie girl growing up. I'm thinking of the whole house, the aesthetics, this quote unquote doll family type of situation. And even seeing the movie, a lot of those elements was into it. But Barbie has its own world, right? And I started to think, if we always talk about as entrepreneurs or social entrepreneurs or business owners or spiritual people. Ariel, I'm right here. I had to just put a disclaimer out. Come on, man. Just here we come. Come on. Um, and she's gonna cry the whole way here. Why do they cry the whole way to you? Nope, we went back to sleep. No, okay. So she's coming. So, like I said, in this Barbie movie, you think about this world and what this world encompasses. And if you watch the movie, it's all of these things that happen, just like our world: social structure, careers, what do you do with your day, and the whole nine. So, like I said, as an entrepreneur, business owner, no matter what you do, you start to think about that. Hey, who do I impact? Where do I impact them at? Is it more America? Is it, would my services be better in China? Would my services be better in India? Whatever the place may be. So, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, start writing out, hey, if I could create a perfect world where my customers lived in it, my family was in it, friends in the whole nine, but this world is this, whatever it is for you. So it could be beautiful, it could be sunny, it could be tropical, it could be cold, it could be cold. Maybe in your world, people only work 3 days a week. Maybe in your world, teachers get paid a whole lot. Whatever your world is, right? And in that world, what is your position in that world? So in my world, if everybody was already famous, everybody has tons of money, we skipped, like we already have all of that. What would you still be doing in your world? Because remember, if everybody's working, everybody's famous, everybody can do that. The society still has to function, so people still have to work. Let's go ahead and say that disclaimer. Disclaimer, what would you do? Right? So after you already say, hey, this is what I want to do, you write your world, right? And then under what you want to do, you're going to list the top 3 things that you would be famous for in your world. Like, boom, automatically. And that those 3 things should match with the world we live in now. You got me? So now when you go to your friends and you start asking them, what do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I'd be great for? What do you think I'll do? Here's how the question will go. So it will go a little bit like this. Hey, I'm going to use my sister's name because I didn't know her. Hey, Star, quick question for you. Hey, sis, what's up? If here's the scenario. Um, if you had to put me in 3 different industries, they could be joint, they could be separate, whatever the case may be, and knowing I have to be successful in these industries for you to make $1 million, where would you stick me at to make your money? Do you know it turned into like Price is Right from my dad to my sister to an old business friend to a couple clients I've had recently to a coworker. Everybody, it turned into Price is Right. I never gave them amount of time. We were just on the phone laughing. I never said, hey, X, Y, and Z. I just asked them if they had 5 minutes for me to ask them the question, whether they were at work. They turned it into a time thing. They were like, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Here we go. The thing. They turned it into it. And so the reason I added this money part is because I started to notice when I asked people, I did a couple people without asking them the money. It was very dry answers. I'm gonna be honest. It was like, oh, I could see you, and maybe, and kinda. When I put, you had to place me in an industry for me to go in, for me to kill it, for you to make $1 million, where would you put me? And it immediately had a whole different reaction. So after you get your results, so you have your column on the left, your 3, and you ask 3 people, 5 people, the whole premise is, does the answers on your right look close to the answers on your, does the answers on your right look close to the answers on your left? Now, if your answers line up, that means out of your media, your marketing and your communications, you need to focus on those things and be consistent in it to break through. Because that means that people are getting it. It's going to take you some time. So that turns into you having to be consistent, you stepping it up and really trying to push the boundaries, push yourself out there a lot more. Are you being consistent media wise with your podcast? Are you being consistent with your blogs? Are you being consistent with your YouTube and your communications? Have you verbally communicated what you do? Are you willing to say it over and over? Because we think when we go and we're looking at all of these people who have all of these views, right? That, oh my God, it just happened. But like tons of marketers have said, and even consumers have said, once I love your content, once people love your content, like you love content, what do? You binge. Whether it's a YouTube show, whether it's TikTok videos, you go through that person's page and you start to binge on their content because you like the topic they were talking about, and you want to see if they have more. Now, on your page, on your Facebook page, YouTube page, anywhere, if I liked your content, can I binge stuff? Do you have any content within the past 90 days? The At least 90 days. If you don't, you might want to up that. So media, your marketing. how you are positioning yourself. Are you going to the places that need you? So if you have more of a visual brand, you're selling clothes, you're doing that stuff. TikTok is great. If you're like, hey, I haven't hit 1,000 followers yet on TikTok to go live, then going live on YouTube, going live on Facebook, going to Pinterest and posting your pictures there until you're able to keep making small videos and posting on TikTok until you hit your 1,000 to sell on TikTok, since that's the hot market. So it lets you go. You get what I'm saying? It lets you see what you really need to do. Now, if you're two, like what everybody is saying is completely different from year three, you need to work on your media, your marketing, your communications, period. That means that what you're saying, what you're doing, and how you're living and expressing your personal brand is not adding up for your consumers to technically get it, for them to say, hey, I can trust this person doing this, that. A lot of the times, too, when you ask your family and friends, don't get so caught up on them giving you the exact detail. See how close they get to it without you saying anything, because I didn't prompt any of them. So here are my top three before I jump off this, since I wanted to test to see how it was going to be today. So my top three for me were beauty, media, and then I think I put public speaking, right? So when you ask yourself those questions, you want to ask it, not overthink it, but be honest. What three markets could you go in? Rise to the top. You know you can rise to the top with the right muscle grease. You can do it. Yeah, you heard my little spit sound effect. You know what I mean? Like the elbow grease. You can do it. Now, when I asked every single person, top one was beauty. Top one. Everybody. Even if they didn't say beauty, they was like makeup or doing makeup for celebrity people, high-end people. It was a lot of details. When I got to two, it turned into either retail, having a clothing store, doing fashion. My sister went right into a TV network, like a show like Wendy Williams. Like she got really into it. I had another friend, she was like branding, because you'll talk to people, you'll get it out of people. Three, everybody either jumped to fashion. Other people jumped to public speaking. My sister was like, hey, somebody to help somebody with their image, their business, and like getting it all together. I was like, hey, image consultant. My dad was like, well, I guess public speaking. This was his third one. He was like, well, whatever it is that it's called when you can talk to people and get the stuff out of people. Whatever that is, that's what you'll be great at. So, like I said, it was just so interesting to see whether it was in order, because it doesn't have to be in order. Let me say that too. When you're asking people, it doesn't have to be in order to your one, two, and three. Long as they said, you know what I mean? Anything that they said, you want to be able to take it in, but you want to see if they got close to your one, two, and three. And if they couldn't, what other little details did they say? Because that can also help you with communicating, right? Marketing, and what type of media you need to get on. Out of every type of media, right? I have to get on video, because one consensus thing was video, 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 people seeing you and hearing you talk. So these, again, are ways to really pull the good stuff out of it that you need to do. And hopefully it does match up. And you're like, hey, London, I feel more encouraged. I just really have to step it up and really get on my media, my marketing, and my communications. But look, tomorrow we're going to jump up here, and it's going to be way more in depth tomorrow. We're going to get into your personality types, and does it match up with your archetypes of your brand. So if you haven't heard of brand archetypes, you can type in brand archetypes and take the quiz. And it'll kind of let you know too how your brand is perceived, or in the business market, how it would be perceived, whether you're a lover brand like Godiva Chocolate, Victoria's Secret, or if you're more of a creator brand like Legos, YouTube. So and we'll let you know. But look, thanks so much for jumping up here with me really, really quick. This was pretty cute. This was pretty cute. Listen, I'm trying a whole new platform. I've never tried Restream before. I'm gonna be honest. I've been very StreamYard, but I've been trying it. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I was actually able to see behind the scenes, a little bit up front. If I was gonna do transitions, how were transitions gonna look? I kind of wanted to go through all of that to see what it was going to look like. But as always, guys, my name is London Nicole. I own the London Nicole firm. Yep, yep, yep. So we're image PR communications. So what we do there is several different things. Whether you are needing help as someone to come in as like a life coach, an image consultant to really help you narrow down your career, what you want to do, whether you're saying, hey, I already know I'm a dope pastor, dope entrepreneur. I am a dope public speaker. I just need other people to see how dope I am. Or I really need help to figure out what my thing is, like what my unique niche is. We can help you with that. Or if you're saying, hey, London, I know my niche, I know what I'm supposed to do. I just really need to step up my image. I need dope content shots. I need a dope boss babe makeover. I need to look like that girl. We do that as well. And in any content session I do with you, we really get down into different products you need to make, different media you need to make, ways for you to stand out, events you need to go to, publications to get into, sponsorship. Donations, meaning that you may want to put on an event or do something to raise your profile. Galas are great things, other stuff in the community. So we kind of get all, like I said, all the way down into it. But look, like I said, thank you so much for joining me on um, this video journey and how these things are going to well, I can't say these things, how I'm going to roll out or re-roll out my podcast. And like I said, I just wanted to do some behind the scenes little twerking to see how it was going to come out and how it was going to show. But again, thank you guys so much for listening to this and checking this out. I am going to go get my baby because she act like she is just going to fall apart if I'm just not right there. I don't know how, child, but let me go. Like I said, thank you guys so much for listening to this and checking this out. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.